Hello everyone. So today in this video we're gonna solve the Maths B paper 1 of January 2020. So let's get started. Question number 1. Write 0.000315 in standard form. So what will I do is move the position of the point 4 units backward. So after moving it 4 units backward, the point would be after 3. So 3.15, and as we have moved the position of the point, we need to multiply 10 to the power negative 4. Negative 4 because we have moved the position backward, and 4 because we have moved it 4 units backward. So the standard form is 3.15 into 10 to the power negative 4. Question number 2. The bearing of village A from village B is 124 degrees. Find the bearing of village B from village A. So here we always need to notice that where is the word from. Here the from word is before village B, so the angle that is 124 degrees will be on village B. Let me draw a diagram for here. Let this be point B, and this is the north side of B, and village A is 124 degrees from the point village B. So 124 degrees would be something like this, greater than 90 but less than 180. So village B A is somewhere situated near this area, and this line, this straight line, is the north of village A. At first we need to know the angle that is this. We need to know the value for this angle. Let us imagine it's x, and this angle was already given 124 degrees. We can already see that as both the north sides are parallel to each other, so we can say x and 124 are interior angles. So we can say x plus 124 degrees is equals to 180 degree bracket interior angle. Now make x the subject of it, and that would give you 180 minus 124. If you subtract 124 from 180, you get 56 degrees. But this was not what the question asked you for. The question asked you to find the value for the bearing of village A from village B. So the bearing would be, or we already know that the bearing always starts from the north side of any specific point. So the bearing should have started from this north of A and would end with this line where it would reach to B. So this would be the actual bearing that our question has asked to find out. And we can see that this makes a circle, and we have already found the value for x. So we need to just find the bearing. Bearing would be 360 degrees minus x. The value of x was 56, so write 56 over here, and that would give you 304 degrees. So the bearing of village B from village A is 304 degrees. I hope question number 2 was clear. Moving to question number 3. A, B, C and D, E, F are parallel straight lines, and G, B, E, H is a straight line. A, B, E is 135 degrees, and F, E, H is P degrees. Find the value of P. So at first we need to, in order to find the value for P, we need to find this angle. And this angle is, we can, as already it's stated that ABC is a straight line, we can say that angle CBE plus 135 degree is equals to 180 degree, because sum of a straight line So we can make angle CBE the subject from this equation, and we get the value for CBE, that is 180 degrees minus 135. 180 degrees minus 135, and that is 45 degrees. So the value for the angle CBE is 45 degrees. And now, as we can see that both angle CBE and P are corresponding angles, so we can say angle if EH is equals to angle CBE bracket corresponding angle. Therefore, P is equals to 45 degrees. So the value for P is 45. You need to write it down over here in the space given. So this was question number 3. I hope it was clear. Moving to question number 4. Without using a calculator and showing all your work out at the multiply with your answer as mixed number in its simplest form. Okay, so at first it doesn't mean that you can't actually use a calculator, but you need to show the workings of each step in detail. So at first I will convert these mixed fractions into simple fractions. So in order to do that, we need to multiply 8 into 1 plus 7 for the first fraction, and then divide it by 8 and multiply this with again 3 into 2 plus 3, 5 into 2 plus 3, and divide that again with 5, and you get 8 plus 7 is 15 by 8, and 5, 10, 13 by 5. If you multiply 13 and 15 and 8 into 5, you get 39. Let me write in detail. 15 into 13 is 195. 195 by 40. And then if you use a calculator, and its simplest fraction would be 39 by 8. But as we can see that the numerator is bigger than the denominator, so we can obviously convert this into a mixed fraction, which our question has already asked to give our answer in this mixed fraction. So we need to divide 39 by 8. We are using 4, then it's 32, and it gives 7. So the mixed fraction would be 4, 7 by 8. So this is the mixed fraction of the two multiples, and this is the answer, and that's the end of question number 4. You need to show each step of this question, because the question has asked you to do this maths without using a calculator. So yeah, the steps are compulsory in this maths. I hope this was clear. Moving to question number 5. Universal sets is all the even numbers between 1 to 29. So let's write all the even numbers between 1 to 29. That are 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. So these are all the even numbers between 1 to 29, and the set A is all the prime numbers among all this. So the set A consists of only one element, that is 2, because all the other even numbers are not prime numbers. So the set A only contains one element. Set B is all the factors of 24. So all the factors of 24 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. So these are the elements of set B. In part A, it asks you to find the B prime. B prime means everything that is not the element of set B. So everything that is not the element of set B is, we can see that 10 is not an element of set B, 14 is not an element of set B, 16, 18, 20, 22, 26, and 28. So these are the elements that are not the elements of set B. So these are the elements of B prime, and that's the answer of part A. Part B is A intersect B. It wants you to find the elements that are common between both A and B. We can already see that it will only be 2, because A has only one element, that is 2, and 2 is also common in B. So A intersect B is just 2. So part B answer is just 2. This was the end of question number 5. Question number 6. Here are 12 most recent batting scores of a cricketer. Find the median of these 12 scores. Okay, so at first we need to arrange these numbers in order. So from smaller to larger order. So it would be 3, 6, 11, 18, 23, 23, 26, 45, 56, 56, 78 and 87. So I have already written the 12 numbers in order, and now I need to divide the two numbers equally on both sides. As we have seen that it has already 12 numbers, so we will divide 5 on both sides. So that would be this side containing 5 numbers and this side containing 5 numbers. We have 23 and 26 in the middle, so the median would be something between these two numbers. So the median would be 26 plus 23 divided by 2, and that gives you the value for median, that is 24.5. So this was question number 6. Moving to question number 7. The nth term of a sequence is given by 2 minus 5n. Write down the third, fourth and fifth term of the sequence. Well, the equation for the sequence is already given, that is 2 minus 5n, and we need to find the value for the third, fourth and fifth term. For each consecutive term, the n would be that term. Like for the third term, the value for n will be 3. So third term is 2 minus 5, as we have already said that the value of n would be 3 for the third term. So we are going to write 3 on n's place, and this gives you negative 13. We will repeat the same thing for both fourth term and fifth term. Fourth term is 2 minus 5 bracket 4, and that gives you a value of negative 18. And fifth term is 2 minus 5 bracket 5, and that gives you a value for minus 23. So these are the values for the third term, fourth term and fifth term. I hope question number 7 was clear. Moving to question number 8. Express 42 minutes as a percentage of 5 hours. As minutes and hours are not the equal or not the same units, we need to convert the minute into hour first. So we already know that 60 minutes is equals to 1 hour. I'm using the unitary method. That is 42 minutes would be 42 by 60, that is 0.7 hours. So this is the hour version of 42 minutes. And now we need to find the percentage of 42 minutes. That would be 0.7 on the numerator, 5 on the denominator, and into 100%, because as we are asked to find percent, and that would give you a value of 14%. So 42 minutes as a percentage of 5 hours is 14%. We need to write it down over here, 14. Question number 8 was done. I hope it was clear. Moving to question number 9. Here is a number line. A number line is given over here, and in part A, it says show on the number line the inequality negative 3 less than equals to x and x greater than 4. So at first, I will divide the range of x into two terms to make it more clear. That is, x is greater than equals to negative 3 and x is less than 4. So now I'm gonna write or draw these inequalities on the number line. I'm gonna do this one first, as it shows that x is greater than and equals to negative 3. So I will draw an circle on negative 3 and fill this circle. I'm filling it because it says that x is equals to greater than negative 3. So we need to draw a filled up circle above negative 3, and the arrow would move towards right, because x was greater than equals to negative 3, so the arrow would move towards right. And now I'm going to draw the the number line for this range, that is x is less than 4. As x is less than 4 but it is not equal, so I'm gonna draw a circle, empty circle below 4, and draw a line towards north, because it was given that x is less than 4, so a line towards left. So part A is done. In part B, it says that write the integer values of x for which x is greater than equals to -3 and x is less than 4. So we just need to find out the numbers that are common between these two ranges. We can see that both ranges has -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So these are the 6 numbers that are the integer values of x. So x is -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So these are the values, the integer values of x. I hope question number 9 was clear. Moving to question number 10. It says it's a matrix question. Part A says calculate A plus B. We just need to add the matrices. So that is 2 minus 3, 4, 1 plus 5, 0, 4 minus 2. And in order to plus that, we need to do this step. 2 plus 5 minus 3 plus 0, 4 plus 4, and 1 plus minus 2. And that gives you 7 minus 3, 8 minus 1. So this is the value or the matrix for A plus B. Moving to question number B, 2A minus 4B. So the question has given us the value for A, but we need to find the value for 2A. So that's what we need to do, is multiply 2 to A. That is 2, value for A was 2 minus 3, 4, 1, minus 4 multiply B, value for B was 5, 0, 4 minus 2. And if you multiply the things, it would be 2 into 2, 4, 2 into 3 minus 6, 2 into 4, 8, 2 into 1, 2, and 4 into 5, 20, 4 into 0, 0, 4 into 4, 16, 4 into 2, minus 8. So now you need to subtract the numbers. That is 4 minus 12 is minus 16, minus 6 minus 0 is minus 6, minus 8 minus 16 is minus 8, 2 minus minus 8 is positive 10. So this is the value for 2A minus 4B. I hope it was clear. Moving to the next question. Question number 11. Express as a single fraction in its simplest form 5 divided by 3 minus 2x minus 2 divided by 2 plus 5x. So we need to do an LCM for the denominators, but as we can see that they are all too large to calculate an LCM for them. We're just gonna write the denominator as multiply both the denominators. So 3 minus 2x, 2 plus 5x. And as we have multiplied both the denominators, I need to multiply 5 with the denominator of 2, that is 2 plus 5x. So 5, 2 plus 5x minus, and I need to multiply the 2 with the denominator of 5, that is 3 minus 2x. So 2, 3 minus 2x. And now I just need to simplify this. By multiplying 5 with 2 plus 5x, we get 10 plus 25x, and by multiplying 2 into 3 minus 2x, we get 6 plus 4x divided by 3 plus 2x, 2 plus 5x. And we get 10 minus 6 is 4, 25 plus 4 is 29x divided by 3 minus 2x, 2 plus 5x. So I have already calculated the maths and given it in its simplest form. That is 4 plus 9x divided by 3 minus 2x into 2 plus 5x. I hope question number 11 was clear. Moving to question number 12. Given that for all values of x, 4x cubed minus 8x squared minus 12x plus 11 is equals to 2x plus k qx plus 11. So where q is a quadratic expression in x, where q is itself a quadratic expression and the positive quadratic expression, and it wants you to find the value for k. So let's start. At first I'm gonna write it down as this form: 2x plus k q x plus 11 is equals to 4x squared minus 4x cubed minus 8x squared minus 12x plus 11. We can already see that the 11s will get cancelled out because they are both in just numerical form, so we can easily cancel them. And then as we can see that x is common between all the numbers, so we can take x common, and the thing would look like 4x squared 8x minus 12. And now we just need to middle term it, factorize it. That is 4x squared 4x 12x 12 positive 4 it should be, and then take common between the first two terms, so we can take 4x common, that would be x plus 1. We can take 12 common, that would be x plus 1. And then the equation would look like 4x minus 12, x plus 1. What I'm gonna do now is take 2 common from this, so that would be x. 2 common from this is 2x minus 6 is x plus 1. I can simply take the 2 out of the bracket, that would be like 2x x plus 1 2x minus 6. I'm going to multiply this 2 with this bracket, and that would be 2x plus 2, and move this x at the back of the equation, so it would be 2x minus 6 and x. Now we can see that it actually resembles the equation we wanted to find, that was 2x plus k q, which was itself a quadratic equation, and x. It already has a x at the back, and q was a quadratic equation, so we can say that 2x plus 6 was the value for q, and the value for k would be then 2. So we can write k is equals to 2. The value for k would be 2. You can write it over here, k is equals to 2. I hope it was clear enough. Moving to question number 13. Simplify 3x squared minus y cube total cube divided by 9xy square. So at first we need to take everything in 3 order on the base of 3, that is 3 cube x to the power 6 y to the power 9 and divided by, we already know that 3 square is 9, so we will write 3 square x y square. And as both the numbers are divided with each other, we can take common for both, like we can take 3 common and then subtract the powers, 3 minus 2, and we can take x common and subtract the powers, 6 minus 1, and y common and subtract the powers, 9 minus 2, and obviously they are multiplied to each other, and then we get 3 minus 2 is 1, so 3 to the power 1, we don't need to write the 1, and x to the power 5, y to the power 7. So we have already simplified the fraction, and it gives you a value of 3x to the power 5, y to the power 7. I hope question number 13 was clear. Moving to question number 14. It's a simultaneous equation. You just need to solve it. Let me say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. I'm gonna use the elimination method, so I would multiply equation 1 with 4 and multiply equation 2 with 3. That would give me two different equations, that are 12x, equation 1 would be 12x plus 8y is equals to 32, and equation 2 would be minus 12x plus 27y is equals to 66. I just need to cancel out the x, because one of the x is positive and the other is negative, so they cancel each other out. And if you add 8 plus 27, you get 35y, and 32 plus 66 is 98. And if you make y the subject of this equation, so that is 98 by 35, and by using the calculator you can see that the value for y is 2.8. As we have got the value for 8, we would substitute the value for y into any of the equation. I'm gonna choose equation 1. So substituting, y into equation 1. Equation 1 was 3x 2y is equals to 8, making x the subject of it. That would be 8 minus 2y divided by 3. Now putting the value of y into the equation, 8 minus 2, 2.8 divided by 3. By simply using the calculator, you can find the value of x, that is 0.8. So you need to write the values on here. That is, x was 0.8 and y was 2.8. That was the end of question number 14. I hope it was clear. Moving to question number 15. It's a shaded diagram. You need to tell the boundaries of the shaded region, and we can see that for this line y is equals to 5 plus x. For this line, the shaded region is kind of below the line, so the inequality for this line is y less than equals to 5 plus x. For the other line that is on the boundary of this region, that is this y is equals to 6 minus 2x, this line, the shaded region is kind of above the line. So as it is above the line, so the equation for this line would be y greater than is equals to 6 minus 2x. Now there is another line, this straight vertical line. This vertical line is on x-axis. We can see this is on x-axis, but we don't know the coordinate of the x-axis, that we don't know the coordinates. So in order to find that, we need to do a trick. That is, we can see that the line y is equals to 6 minus 2x is also crosses the x-axis at that exact point. And we all know that at x-axis y is equals to 0. So using this equation, we will find the x coordinate of this point. So let this point be A. At A, y is equals to 0. Why y is equals to 0? But because point A lies directly on x-axis, so y is equals to 0. We are using the equation y is equals to 6 minus 2x, and as y is equals to 0, we can write it as 6 minus 2x is equals to 0, because we are using the value for y. So make x the subject of the equation. That would be 2x is equals to 6 and x is equals to 3. So we now know the equation for this line. It is x is equals to 3. And we can see that as the shaded region is towards the left of the line x equals to 3, so the equation for this line would be x less than equals to 3. I hope this was clear to you all, and these are the 3 inequalities for the shaded region. If you have any problem, you can comment into the comment section. Let's get moving. Question number 16. A model of a shape is made to a scale of 3:400. The surface area of the model is 7200 centimeters square. calculate in meters square the surface area of the ship. So the surface area of the model is given and it wants you to find the real surface area of the ship. At first, we need to convert this centimeter square into meter square because our question has asked us to find our answer in meter square. So we'll do that first. 72 centimeter square would be meter square, and we need to multiply 7200 into 10 to the power 4 minus 4, and then we get 0.72 meters square. And then the equation for this scenario would be area of model divided by area of real ship is equals to their scale 3 by 400 whole square. And I'm gonna put values of these things. Area of model was 0.72 divided by area of ship is equals to 3 by 400 squares. Make a subscript x the subject of this equation, and it would be 0.72 divided by 3 by 400 square, and that is 0.72. Your value for the surface area of the ship is 12800 meters square, and you need to write it down on the space given, 12800 meters square. This was the question number 16. I hope it was clear. Moving to question number 17. The diagram shows triangle ABD and BCD such that AB is 6.5, AD is 2.5, and BC is 4.2, and angle CBD is given 35 degrees and ADB is 90 degrees. Calculate the area in centimeters squared to three significant figures of the quadrilateral ABCD. So in order to find that, at first I need to find the length of BD. We can find the length of BD simply using the Pythagoras theorem. So BD would be 6.5 square plus 2.5 square root over, and that would be root over 6.5 square plus 2.5 square. We get, sorry, it would be negative, my bad. 6.5 square minus 2.5 square, and you get the value for BD is 6 centimeters. And now if we look at the diagram, we can find the area of the total quadrilateral ABCD by dividing it into two triangles. One triangle is ABD, another triangle would be BCD. So area of quadrilateral ABCD would be area of triangle ABD plus area of triangle CBD, and that would be area of triangle ABD. We can find it by using the simple formula half into base into height, because everything is given. So half into 6 into 2.5 plus area of the triangle CBD is half into sine theta into AB, that is half into sine 35 degrees into A into B would be 4.2 into 6. So 0.5 into 6 into 25 is 7.5 plus 0.5 into sine 35 into 4.2 into 6 is 7.227, and if you add the things, 7.5 plus 7.227, you get 14.727. So the answer of the area of the quadrilateral of ABC D is 14.7 centimeters square. So this is the area of the quadrilateral ABCD. I hope question number 17 was clear enough. Moving to question number 18. The vectors p and q are given and are such that p is equals to q. Given that x is less than 0, find the value of x. So at first we will find the value for the modulus of p square and q square individually. So p square is x square plus 2x minus 1 whole square, that is x square plus 4x square plus 4x, sorry, negative 4x, negative 1, positive 1. So that would be 5x square minus 4x plus 1, and the modulus for q square would be minus 9 square plus 5 square. Sorry. So the thing would be over here is 106. The value for modulus of q square is 106. And now we are going to make an equation like p square modulus is equals to q square modulus. And if I take the square of p from to the q side, it would look like p modulus root over q modulus square. As we already know that root over modulus square means something like this into half. So the powers would get cancelled out and we'd get p modulus is equals to q modulus. And we can write the values for them. That is, modulus of p was 5x square minus 4x plus 1 is equals to 106. And move 106 to the right side, so to the left side of the equation. That is 5x square minus 4x minus 105 is equals to 0. And by using the middle term, we would get things like 5x plus 21 and x minus 5 is equals to 0. So they both will give you a value of x, that is, one would be x plus 5 and the other would be x negative 21 by 5. As our question had already provided that x was always less than 0, that means x was supposed to be negative. X can never be positive, so we would say x is never equals to 5, but x was always equals to negative 21 by 5. So the value for x would be negative 21 divided by 5. So this was the value for x. I hope question number 18 was clear. Sorry. Moving to question number 19. BOC is a sector of a circle center O with angle BOC 30 degrees. The sector AOD of the circle centers O such that ODC and OAB are straight lines is removed from the sector BOC to form the region S, shown shaded in the diagram. Given that OA is equals to AB, find and the perimeter of S is 10. Calculate, giving your answer in terms of x, the length in meter of AB. As it has already stated that the COB or DOA, whatever you say it, are a sector from a circle whose center was O. So we can say that OA is the radius and OB is double of a radius. So we can write it as OA is equals to 2OA. 2OA is equals to OB. We can write OA as small r because that's a radius. And we can write this, it's already given that OA is equals to AB. So we can write OB as OA plus AB, and that would be 2OA because it was already given that OA is equals to AB. And the value for OD and DC are the same. We can also write OA is equals to OD because they are both again that radius of the sector. So we will just write OA for this thing. So the value for OA is just R. OB would be 2R. OD is just R and OC would be 2R, and the arc lengths are not given, the arc length DA and CA, but it was given that the perimeter of the shaded region S is 10. So we can find the length of AB by using this information. Let's make an equation for the perimeter of S. An equation would be DA, length of DA, plus DC plus AB plus CB is equals to 10. These are the four sides of region S, and we need to add the four sides, and that would give the perimeter of S, that is 10. So we need to find DA, the length of DA, and as we can see that DA is kind of the arc length of the sector DOA. So we can write the arc length of DA as theta 30 divided by 360 into 2 pi OA. This is the value for arc length of DA, plus DC. DC is equals to AB, and AB was always equals to OA, so we can write DC as simply R. AB is also simply R, and CB would be the arc length of the sector COB, so we can write it as theta 30 divided by 360 into 2 pi. As the radius for this sector is OB, we would write OB in here, and is equals to 10. We can simply cancel 360 by 30, so we can do that by dividing 360 with 30, and we get 1 by 12, and we have again this, so 6 over here, and then again 6 over here. So what we get is 1 by 6 pi r plus these two r's get add with each other, so it's 2r plus 1 by 6 pi. We have already seen that OA was equals to OB was equals to 2OA, so we can write this as 2R, and 2 divided by 6 is 3, so that's 10. The next line would look like 1 by 6 pi r plus 2r plus 1 by 3 pi r, that is equals to 10. And if you add 1 by 6 and 1 by 3, you get 1 by 2 pi r plus 2r is equals to 10. And we can do the LCM for this half and 2. We would get 2 at the denominator, and the numerators would be pi r plus 4r is equals to 10. Moving 2 to the next side, to the right hand side of the equation, that would be pi r plus 4r. 2 into 20 is 2 into 10 is 20, and taking r common, that would be pi plus 4 is equals to 20. So the next line would be r is equals to 20 divided by pi plus 4. So this is the value for r in terms of pi, that is 20 divided by pi plus 4. So that was the end of question number 19. I hope that was clear. Moving to question number 20. The temperature T degrees Celsius as at midday is in a city was recorded each day for 50 days. The table shows information about these temperatures. Part A, write down the modal class. In order to find the modal class, we need to find the frequency, the highest frequency of each range. We can see that 16 was the highest frequency. 16 was the highest number of days that were counted to have a same range of temperature. So as 16 is the highest frequency, as it is the highest frequency, so the range for this frequency will be the modal class. So the modal class would be 14 to 17. We can write it over here as 14 less than T less than equals to 17. So this was the modal class. Part B, calculate an estimate of the nearest degree Celsius of the mean temperature at midday in this city during these 50 days. So it actually wants you to find the value of mean, but as the table is given in a range of temperatures and frequency, we need to find first the mean of the range of temperatures. Like we can find the mean of the range of temperatures using, let this be x, and if 5 plus 8 divided by 2 is 6.5, so here it would be 6.5. Let me show my workings also. Five plus 8 divided by 2 is 6.5. I'm doing the same method for 11 and 8. 11 plus 8 divided by 2 is 9.5. I'm again repeating the same method for 11 and 14. And we get 12.5. Doing the same for 17 and 14. And we get 15.5. And then 17 plus 20 is 18.5. And 20 plus 23 is 21.5. And now we have to find the value of fx, that is we need to multiply this x with the frequencies of each. That would be 6.5 into 3, that's 19.5, and then that's fx, we are doing fx here, that is 12 into 9.5, and that's 114. And 12 into 12.5 is 150. 16 into 15.5, 248. 6 into 18.5 is 111. And 21.5 into 1 is 21.5. And we know the sum of the frequency is 50. So the equation for mean of this type would be mean is equals to EFX by F. EFX is basically the sum of all the fx. Sum of all the fx is 19.5 plus 114 plus 150 plus 248 plus 111 plus 21.5, and that is 664. So we are going to write 664 at the numerator and 50 on the denominator. And if you divide 664 by 50, you get 13.28. But as the question asks you to find the nearest degree Celsius temperature, nearest means you have to give your answer in a whole number, not in a decimal point. So the answer would be 13, only 1, 3. This was the mean of the temperatures each day in the past 50 days in a specific area. So this was the end of question number 20. I hope this was clear. Moving to question number 21. The functions f and g are defined for all values of x by fx is equals to 3x minus 5, gx is equals to 2x squared plus 1. Write the range of g. So in order to find the range of g, we first need to know what type of graph g actually is. We can see that it's a square, it has a x square value, so it's supposed to be a x square graph, and as it's a positive x, so it's supposed to be a smiley graph for the x square. Let me sketch a graph for this. That's how this graph for gx would look like. And we always know that this one is the y-intercept of the graph, y-intercept of this graph. So we can see that this point would be 1 on the y-axis, and as it has asked you to find the range of GA, that means find the range of G for the y-axis, so that would be G greater than equals to 1. Greater than because every value of y was always greater than 1. The least value was 1, but otherwise it's all greater than 1, and equals to 1 because the graph itself has a point 1, so that's why the range of G would be G greater than equals to 1. And now we need to solve the equation if g is equals to g of x. At first we need to do this, find the equation for g of x. G f2 would be 2x square plus 1. This was the equation for g, but as f is inserted inside it, so it would look like 3x minus 5 square plus 1, and the value for x is also given, that is 2, so it would be 2 minus 5 square plus 1, and if you do the calculations, it is 3 into 2 is 6, minus 5, that's 1 square is gonna be 1, and 1 into 2 is 2 plus 1, so you get 3. So the equation for GF2 is 3. Now we can simply write the equation for that is asked in the question. Fx is equals to GF2. Fx was 3x minus 5 is equals to 3. Making x the subject of the equation would be 3 plus 5, and x would be 8 divided by 3, and that is the value of x. X is 8 by 3. So this was the end of question number 21. I hope it was clear. Moving to question number 22. Now this was a tricky maths. Let's see. A is equals to 8.45, correct to 2 decimal place. B is equals to 1.93, correct to 2 decimal place, and C is equals to 3.415, correct to 3 decimal place. The upper bound of x and the lower bound of x are the same, correct to n decimal places. Calculate the value of x, correct to n decimal places, for the largest integer n. You must show your working and give a reason for your final answer. Okay, so even if I explain this question 3 times, it won't be clear. So let me start doing it. At first, we need to find the upper bound and lower bound of each a, b, and c. As a was correct to 2 decimal places, correct to 2 decimal places means that the precision level was 0.01. 2 decimal means 0.01, and now the amount we need to add or subtract from the value given for a should be amount needed to add or subtract is 0.01 divided by 2, that is 0.005. And now we can find the upper bound value and lower bound value of a. I'm gonna use UB for upper bound value. Let me write a. Upper bound value of a would be 8.45 plus this value 0.005, and it would be 8.455. The lower bound value of a would be 8.45 minus 0.005, and that would be 8.445. I'm going to do the exact same thing for B, that is 1.93, correct to 2 decimal places. Again, as it is correct to 2 decimal places, the decimal point precision would be 0.01, and the amount needed would again be the 0.005. So value for the upper bound and lower bound values for B would be upper bound 1.93 plus 0.005, and this is 1.935, and lower bound value would be 1.93 minus 0.005, that is 1.925. But for C, the value of C is 3.415, correct to 3 decimal places. As it is correct to 3 decimal places, the precision level would be different from the 2 decimal places. It would be 3 decimal is equals to 0.005 0, 1, and the amount needed to add or subtract from this would be needed to add or subtract would be 0.001 divided by 2, and this would give you a value of 0.0005. Now we need to find the upper bound and lower bound values of C. That would be upper bound would be 3.415 plus 0.0005. That is 3.4155, and lower bound is 3.415 minus 0.0005, and that would be 3.4145. So these are the upper bound and lower bound values of A, B and C. So at first we will find the value of x using all the upper bounds, and then we will again find the value of x using all the lower bounds. So now I'm finding the value of x using all the upper bounds. So it's upper bound value. The equation was root over a minus b divided by c. The upper bound value of a was 8.455. So 8.455 minus the upper bound value of b, that was 1.935. 1.935 divided by the value upper bound value of c, that was 3.4155, and if you do this you get a value of 1.381646, and I'm gonna do this exact thing for x again, but using the lower bound values of a, b and c. So now I'm using the values of lower bound. So this would give a lower bound value of x. That is, the lower bound value of a was 8.445. 8.445 minus lower bound value of b, that is 1.925, divided by the lower bound value of c, that was 3.4145, and if you calculate it, you're going to get a value of 1.381848. Now up to certain level, up to certain decimal places, both the upper bound and lower bound values are similar. We can say this for 3 significant level, like 1.38, 1.38. If you get a value, if you round up the both values, upper bound and lower bound values of x, to 3 significant figures, you're going to get the exact number. So that's what the question asked you about, that up to a certain level, both the upper bound and lower bound values of x are the same, correct to n decimal places. N decimal places was the decimal places up to which the upper bound and lower bound values of x was exactly the same. And we can see now that it was actually up to 2 decimal places. Up to 2 decimal places, the lower bound and the upper bound values of x were exactly the same. And they asked you to calculate the a value of x and give it to that n decimal places, so we are going to use the value up to 2 decimal places, because up to 2 decimal places both the upper bound and lower bound values were similar. So we are going to write it as 1.38. This is the value for the upper bound and lower bound value of x. This was a tricky maths. I hope it was clear to everyone. Moving to question number 23. Factorize completely 10a minus 25ab. We can take 5 common between the two numbers. So it would be 5 in common, and we can also take a common because they both have a. So that would be 2 minus 5b inside the bracket. And that's the end. Nothing else to do. You need to write that exact thing on the space given. 5a, 2 minus 5b. Part A was done. Moving to part B. Factorize x square minus 3x minus 10. So I'm going to split the 3x into two numbers. That is x square minus 5x minus 2x minus 10 plus 2x. So we are going to take x common So the inside the bracket would be x minus 5, and we're gonna take 2 common for the last two, and it would be x minus 5, and you get x plus 2, x minus 5, and that's the answer. We have factorized x square minus 3x minus 10 completely, and the answer is x plus 2 and x minus 5. Moving to question number C, factorize 50x square minus 72y square. We can take 2 common because they are like a large numbers, 50 and 70. So we are taking 2 common, so you would get 25x square minus 36y square. We can see that both 25 and 36 are square numbers, right? Like if you square 5, you get 25, and if you square 6, you get 36. So now we are gonna use the rule a square minus b square rule. So I'm gonna write 5x square as 5x whole square minus 36y square as 6y whole square, and that would be 2 5x minus 6y 5x plus 6y. And this was the end of the factorization completely. So you need to write the answer again over here. That's 5x minus 6y and 5x plus 6y. Question number C is done. Moving to question number 24. The equation of a curve C is given, where k is a constant. The point A on C is a stationary point. We need to look at the wordings over in the question clearly, that it's the point A on C is a stationary point, and the x coordinate of point A is also given, that was half. Calculate the value of k. So at first we need to simplify the equation for the curve C, that is y is equals to 2x minus 3 kx plus 5 divided by x. I'm gonna first simplify this equation, and that would be multiplying the numbers inside the two brackets. So it would be 2kx square plus 10x minus 3kx minus 15 divided by x, and then the next step would be 2kx square minus 10 plus 10 minus 3k x minus 15 by 10. As the denominator x is for everyone, so I'm gonna write x individually for each term. So that would be 2k x square divided by x plus 10 minus 3k x divided by x and 15 divided by x. You can cancel out these two x's and this x with x square. You get x at the numerator. So the next line would be 2kx plus 10 minus 3k. There will be no x in here, and then this 15 would be 15 x to the power minus 1, because for 15 there was x at the denominator, so I'm going to pull that x with beside the 15, so that would be 15 multiply x to the power minus 1. And now I'm going to differentiate it. Why would I differentiate it? Because it has said that the x coordinate of point A on curve C was half, and x coordinate was a stationary point, so we can always find the stationary point using the dy by dx. So I'm going to differentiate it. Dy by dx, if you differentiate these equations, I'm going to differentiate these equations, you're going to get 2k. This entire 10 minus 3k would vanish because it doesn't have x associated with it, and the minus 15 x to the power minus 1 would be positive 15 x to the power minus 2, and it would be equals to 0, because at a stationary point dy by dx is always equals to 0. And now you're using the value of the x coordinate of point A, that was half, inside the equation. That would be 2k plus 15 half to the power minus 2 is equals to 0, And if you just make k the subject, it would be 15 minus 15 half minus 2 divided by 2, and you will get an answer of 30. So the value of k is negative 30 actually. Value of k is negative 30, and this is the answer of k of this question number 24. I hope question number 24 was clear. Moving to question number 25. The diagram A, B, C and D are points on a circle center O. Angle ABC is equals to 116 degrees and angle ODC is equals to 40 degrees. Calculate, giving your reasons, the size in degrees of OAD angle. Okay, so we need to find this angle OAD. So at first we need to find the entire angle ADC. So let me find angle ADC. We can see that ABC is a quadrilateral inside a circle, and opposite angles of a quadrilateral are, we can use the method for cyclic quadrilateral, that is 180 minus 116 would give the value of this angle ADC. So 180 degrees minus 116 degrees, because we are using this, and the reason is cyclic quadrilateral. And if you subtract 116 from 180, you get 64 degrees. So that's the angle of ADC. We can now find the angle of ADO or ODA using these two angles. So we are now finding the value of angle ODA by subtracting angle ADC by subtracting angle ODC from ADC, and that would be 64 minus 40, and you get a value of 24 degrees. So this is the value of ODA, and as we know that O is the center of the circle and both OA and OD are radius, so this angle should always be equal to this angle. So the value, so angle OAD should be equals to angle ODA. We are using this because OA is equals to OD is equals to radius, because they both are radius of the circle. And then we have the value for OAD, that would be 24 degrees. So this is the value of OAD, 24 degrees. I hope question number 25 part A was clear. Moving to question number B. Calculate, giving your reasons, the size in degrees of ACD. Okay, they want you to find the size in degrees of ACD, this angle. We can see that ACD is kind of a backward angle or angle at the back from this angle. So at first we will find the angle AOD. I'm doing part B in here because it's really close to the diagram. So angle AOD would be 180 degrees minus 24 degrees minus 24 degrees, and I'm doing this because sum of a triangle, I'm subtracting the two angles of this triangle from 180 degree so that I can get the angle AOD, and the angle AOD is 180 minus 24 is 132 degrees. And as I've already mentioned, that angle ACD is kind of at the back of angle AOD, so we can calculate this angle ACD by dividing this angle with 2. So I'm going to do angle AOD by 2. I'm doing this because this is under the formula for a theorem. Angle at the center, and if you divide 132 degrees divided by 2, you get 132 divided by 2 is 66 degrees. So angle ACD is 66 degrees. I hope part B was clear also. This ends question number 28. Moving to question number 26. 30 people travelled from London to Manchester for a conference. Of these people, 15 travelled by train, 9 travelled by plane, some travelled by both plane and train, 12 did not travel by either train or plane. So at first we need to draw a Venn diagram in order to find the number of people who travelled by both train and plane. So the Venn diagram would look like one circle representing the people traveling for train and the other for plane. Let this be train and this be plane, and this square indicating the universal set. As 12 people neither travel by both train or plane, they would be inside this universal set. And we can take some people that traveled in both train and plane as X. So it would be, so the passengers traveling by train would be 15 minus X, and the passengers traveled by plane would be 9 minus X. And as we have already know the total number of people traveling, that was 30, we can find the value of X. It would be 15 minus X plus 9 minus X plus 12 is equals to 30. And we are going to make X the subject out of this. We can see this X cancels out this one. So 15 plus 9 plus 12 is 36. 36 minus X is equals to 30. So that gives you a value of X is equals to 6. So X number of people so 6 number of people were traveling by both plane and train. Now I'm going to draw a new Venn diagram using the value of X. So that's here is 6, and people traveling only by plane was 3, people traveling only by train was 9, and that will be 12 over here. That's train, that's plane, and that's universal set. So the question actually asks you to not find the value of X. It has this question starts from this area. 3 people are chosen at random from those who traveling by plane. Okay, so 3 people are chosen from random, but they were always chosen from this region, from people who traveled by plane. But it doesn't say people who traveled by only plane, but say that they did travel by plane. Find the probability that people who that exactly 2 people of these people also traveled by train. So out of the 3 people we chosen, 2 must travel by train. So in order to do that, we need to find a probability of first one traveling in train and in plane also. The second one would be both train and plane, and the third person that was chosen, that person only traveled in plane and not in train. So the probability would be train, plane. So the first person chosen from out of the 3 people that was actually chosen from plane now has also traveled in train. So the thing would be like 6 out of 9. 9 indicates the total number of people traveling by plane, and 6 indicates that both the ratio or the same number of people who travel by plane or train. The second person would be out of 8, because 9 minus 1 and 6 minus 1 is 5 by 8. And the third person would be this 3, because this third person didn't travel by train, they traveled by only plane. So it would be 3 out of 9 minus 2. And they can be in any order. Like they can be in any order. The second person might come in the first person place, or the third person might come in the second person place. As we have 3 different elements under this probability, we are gonna, that means it has 3 different orders. It can be under 3 different orders. So we are going to multiply 3 to this, and that would be 6 by 9 into 5 by 8 into 7 3 by 7 into 3, and the real answer will be 15 by 28. So this is the number of people who traveled by both train and plane and has a probability of 15 by 28. I hope question number 26 was clear. Moving to the last question of this paper, question number 27. The diagram shows triangle OAB and a point D which is outside the triangle. The point C lies on AB such that AC is equals to 3CB. The point D is such that BD is equals to 7 by 4A plus 15 by 4B, where OA is equals to 3A and OB is equals to 5B. Find the ratio of OC is to CD. So in order to find the ratio of OC is to CD, we first need to find the value of OC and the value of CD. So at first we are going to find the value of OC. As it was already given in the diagram, that C points that lies on the line AB, and the value of the line AB is also not given. So at first we need to find the value of AB. Value of AB would be OB minus AB, OB minus OA actually. OB was 5A minus 5B minus 3A. So this is the value of AB. And now we need to find the ratio of CB on AB. So we can do this using this line. AC is equals to 3CB. AC is equals to 3CB. Moving CB to the left hand side of the equation, it would be AC divided by CB is equals to 3, and as there is nothing in the denominator, we can always imagine 3 by 1. So we can now write this as in the form AC is to CB is equals to 3 is to 1. So the ratio of AC is to CB is 3 is to 1, and now we can find the ratio of AB is to CB. How can you do that? That is by sum of the ratio. Sum of the ratio would be 3 plus 1, that's 4, and the ratio of AB is to, not AB is to, let me write it as CB is to AB is 1 is to 4, and if I make CB the subject of this, that would be 1 by 4 AB, and 1 by 4 AB, the value of 1 by 4 AB is 1 by 4 5A minus 3B, and it would be 5 by 4A minus 3 by 4B, and this is the value for CB. Now the question also didn't ask us to find the value for CB, but we need CB to find the value for OC. So as we have CB from the diagram, if we connect OC, we can say that now we can directly find the value of OC. That would be OC is equals to OB minus CB. OB was 5B minus 5 by 4B plus 3 by 4A, and if you subtract this, you get 15 by 4B plus 3 by 4A. So this is the value for OC. This is the value for the line OC. And now we need to find the value for the line CD, and we can do that by subtracting or adding CB with BD. So we are finding the value of CD, and we will get this by using the value of CD plus BD. So the value for CB was 5 by 4A minus 3 by 4B, 5 by 4B minus 3 by 4A, plus BD value was 7 by 4A plus 15 by 4B. And if you add these things, it would be A plus 5B. So the value of CD is also available now, and the value of OC is also available. So now we can find the ratio of OC is to CD, and that would be OC is to CD. We can find this by dividing CD with OC, and we need to do this like we have to write OC, the value for OC at the numerator place, that would be 15 by 4 B plus 3 by 4 A divided by the value of CD on the denominator place, that would be 5B plus A, and we can take 1 by 4 common on that numerator. 1 by 4, not 3 by 4. 3 by 4, and that the value would be inside the bracket is 5B plus A divided by 5B plus A, and we can simply cancel out the 5B plus A, and we get OC divided by CD, and OC divided by CD is 3 by 4, and we can write the ratio of OC is to CD as 3 is to 4. So we need to write it down over here in the space given below. OC is to CD is equals to 3 is to 4. So this was the end of question number 27. I hope it was clear, and that's how the January 2020 paper 1 maths B was. I hope it was clear enough. If you have any problem, you can comment it in the comment section. Thank you for watching.